Right, welcome back again. I've just completed the Eduard's boxing of the Spitfire Mark 8 in Australian service called the Aussie 8. Fantastic build, really enjoyed it. Now we're moving on with the group build for Ironclad, and starting January the 10th I aren't going to be able to compete in that, if you like, but as I'm one of the judges, so what I thought I'd do, I get a start, this being Sunday the 7th and it starts on the 10th. I'm going to make a start on this. Now this is Eduard's boxing of the Crusader. Now the original kit from this is from Hasegawa, so we've got the Hasegawa kit, which we all know is the best on the market. Combine that with Eduard's photo etch, resin, probability of cartograph decals. Should be a good build. I've looked in this box already. I did a review on this to begin with, but my computer decided to have a bit of a hissy fit, so I lost it. So I'm going to do it all again to begin with. So you'll notice the bags are all open. That's just the way it is, I'm afraid. It happens to everybody. So what we're going to do, have a look at the box. So Eduard's Crusader 148 limited edition. Great kit, as we all know. We're starting on the side of the box. I'm just making sure you can see it. A bit difficult. I'll put a better lens in so we get closer. We've got 5 markings from Da Nang in '66 of the Death Angels, the Fighting Checkmates, which was Miramar in August '67, the Hunters USS Oriskany September '66. We've got Red Lightnings at Ticonderoga in '66, and the Satan's Kittens off USS Ticonderoga in 1967. Now the schemes are all and decals are by Furball, so they designed it. Okay, and your kit item number is 11110, so 11,110. So that's that. On the side, just the standards. Now this is showing us our photo etch, sorry, our we're going to get the box from the Brasson section, which is a beautiful seat belt, resin seat, wheels, and there's our little bits, and we've got Hasegawa plastic parts, Eduard photo etch, through paint, cartograph printed decals, so I was right, and so on. Right, so it's quite a large box. It will be quite a large aircraft, 148, to be honest with you. So what I'll do, I'll just push that in here. Ready, move up to the side, just dig out the 2 instruction sheets. Right, so first off, let's get this in right. First off, we have our beautiful book, because there's always a book with Eduard, that's what I like about them, showing us the Supersonic Fighter 148 scale plastic kit, the F-8. So the F-8 Crusader was a supersonic day fighter that served with the United States Navy and Marine Corps fighter squadrons during the 60s and 70s. I've always loved this aircraft for some reason, I've no idea why. But anyway, so first off in our booklet, I'm just trying to work it so that we haven't got so much. What do you call it on there? Anyway, let's stick it up a bit higher, that's it. Right, so we have our sprue callouts showing us bits we're not going to use, which is fine. Okay, moving on to our tub. We're going to replace all the details in here with photo etch. so that's really going to make that show up. And there's not a lot to be seen through the canopy window because there's not a lot of room in there, to be honest. So we go through putting the stick in, putting the instrument panel on, all being replaced with photo etch again. We've got the intake tube, the undercarriage bay, also another part of the bay there. Side parts gone on to decorate the sidewalls a little bit, detail them up a little bit, and then we come into, a bit annoyed about that light, let's put that over here, that's better. So we come into putting the fuselage together, parts go on the top, which we put on for the actual movement of the wing for landing. As most people know, the wing on this does actually lift up. It's not just flaps and ailerons as such. Okay, we put the flaps all on. Look like they're movable. I don't know until I put them in. Never done it. We've got wing lights going on, which we'll do last, obviously. Undercarriage coming together. Front undercarriage going down into the front bays. Rear undercarriage being built. All going together nicely there with the legs, doors going on, so on. Rear tower plane going together and the fin all in there. The engine going together. Funnily enough with this one there's not a lot of photo etch or anything for the engine, which is strange knowing Eduard. The seat being built up with photo etch, as we all know that, as I told you earlier, it is going to be a resin seat with loads of photo etch, so it'll be gorgeous. Sorting out ready for what we're going to do, whether we're going to have the canopy open or closed, and so on. Loads of photo etch going in the front, canopy going down, seat going in. It says do not glue the seat in. That's different. Okay. So then we come on the wing down section and the wing up section, which we're going to do. I don't think we'll do the wing up, we'll do the wing down, make it look like it's ready and sitting in on the boat. And we've got all the armament parts going on. Not sure if the armament's supplied in this because this is a how-to-go kit and normally they don't supply them. And we've got showing us how to use the masking system. I don't use it. It's the only thing I don't use out of Eduard. And then we're straight on to the decal situation. Right, so the Death Angels, gorgeous version with the stars, looking really lovely. Personally, I like this one, which is the Red Lightnings out of Ticonderoga in 1966. I do like that one, really nice. We've got the Hunters, the Fighting Checkmates, again that's a nice one. And that should be, oh, what's this one? We've also got Satan's Kittens, which is a great name. And this is the Commander, Attack Carrier Air Wing 19. Actually that's not a bad one, with the little diamond on the tail and all the work underneath, looks really good. Then we've got the stencils, placements all sorted, looking lovely, all in colour. Not that many on this one, which is nice. And the stencils on the upper and lower parts. Again, no stencils on the bottom hardly. Pardon me, just some colour ones. But we have a correction sheet, which I believe is just decal placements, which it is. So we go by this. We don't go by the main. We don't go by this main book. We go by this correction sheet, and we do our decals exactly the same. Just giving you where that does look a lot different actually. Bear with me. Second look. No, it's not that different. I thought it was a little bit different on the rear, but it isn't. So we'll use that one for our decals. Okay. And we come in with our first sprue. Get you right in as far as I can. So the kit is by Hasegawa, so we know it's fairly good, and it's that nice, what I call tinny plastic. It's hard. It will take our extra thin really well, and we're going through it. Lots of details. I think that's the upper area. In the wheel well, she's looking lovely as well. Loads of stuff on the sidewalls. Obviously they'll be painted white. We put a wash on just to bring them up. I'll use an ink wash to bring them up. They look nice. Our engine, very sparse, let's say that. I'm surprised Eduard hasn't done something about that, to be truthful, but there you go. Sidewalls on the front of the undercarriage bay looking good. Very little detail on this tub, so obviously we'll bring it alive with photo etch, and hopefully that'll look really nice. As you can see, she's quite a big lump. She's over 330. Let's do that on there, that's better. We're looking at 340 centimeters long without the engine on it, if it makes any difference. So she is a lump, quite a big bird. That looks nice. And then the next section is our wing section. And again, very fine detail, very fine rivets, everything looking nice. There's a part in here for if we do lift the wing up. There's loads of detail for pipe work. Again, lovely with a wash. Everything looking nice on the tail planes. On the inside, nothing much to see. There's a hair there, don't do it with me because I ain't got long hair like that. So apart from that, everything looking really nice. Come to some of the smaller parts, the flaps. Now some of these parts are in one piece, which is nice. Then we've got our flaps and ailerons, rudder controls and everything like that. Again, another hair. Nothing to do with me. Petter, is that yours? Or Jay's? So, yeah, looking really nice. Detail is quite sharp, so that's quite good. So we're on to this part which has got some of the underneath panels. The stabilising fin. We've got a wheel there we won't be using. Rocket pods, I think that's what they are. Very softly moulded part on this ones, which is a shame, but we can certainly sort them out with a wash. Next part, another one of the stabilising fins. Some of the, well, most of the parts for our undercarriage. A little bit of flash here and there. Nothing we can't cope with. But considering the price of this kit, you would like to see that would be a little bit less of it on there. We've got our instrument panel, which all the detail will be wiped away and got rid of. Some of the rear hub. Not too bad, that'll be fine, it'll soon come up. And we go on to, we've got a little pilot if we want to use him. We've got an ejection seat to use, so we won't be using him. But he is a nice little addition and he'll go into the spares box, which is cool. The original seat we won't be using. The doors for the undercarriage, which have horrible sink marks in them, or ejector pin marks rather. But there you go, we'll fill those, put those in separately. Apart from that, not too bad. We have the last sprue, which basically is more rocket pods, exactly the same, softly moulded. Not brilliant, but we'll make do. So you can see, we have a very nice ejector seat, looking very good. Wheels, again, very nicely moulded. There's no lumps and bumps in here, there's just the seat and our wheels, so they're very nice. We have the brake side of the wheels in here, which again very nicely moulded and looking really good, so that's nice. We have our clear part. Now, looking through there, you can probably see it ain't that clear, but there is no centre seam, which is a good start. Same on the front, and all the bits and bobs, everything's there, it's just not that clear. With today's standards, it isn't as good as perhaps it could be, but then again, this is a fairly old kit, so not too bad. You've got a cut die masking, or die cut masking set. I won't be using this, that'll go into the spares. And we have our PE. Now, two little frets of PE. The first one, which is one is for the cockpit mainly, looks absolutely gorgeous and will really help to liven up that cockpit, because to be honest, it's not that brilliant. But there you go. So they all look lovely. It's all painted in black. And then we have some of the external work, which I like putting these on because that does really add to our model when we put them on. And that's quite nice. We have a single piece of film, which will be for our gun sights and head-up display. Let me just do this. Put that away. First, you do get a lot of rubber grommets in this. They are for the wings and bits and pieces that we join in and the undercarriage. So, a brilliant little job from Eduard to include those. I presume they were included in the original kit. Let's put that out of the way. And then we come to our decals. So now that's all got wrapped up. I'm not going to get these out. They are printed by my favourite company, which is Cartograph. They are beautiful. They are all in register. Everything is readable. Looking at the stencils at the bottom, again perfectly readable and looking superb. As I say, everything in register, everything's a nice solid colour. That's going to look great. I'm going to have to go for this one, to be honest, with the VF194s. That is gorgeous. Those tail slides are absolutely fantastic. That's the one we're going to go for. So there you go. So, it's an old mould. Not sure the date, I'll find out. It is an old mould, but it is still a great kit. And with Eduard putting in their little extras, like photo etch stuff and resin, it really builds into a lovely model. I've seen it built. It does look good. There's a few on Facebook being built at the moment. So what I'll do, I'll get myself sorted and come back and we'll start building her in part 1.